First at 4, we are starting the work week with another round of snow tonight, and hard to believe, but the coldest part of our days are about to get even colder. Karen?
All right, Ben. Also first at 4, a prominent defense attorney in Detroit has been killed in a crash involving a Detroit police SUV. We just heard from Chief James Craig. Also, it is a race between the COVID vaccines and variant forms of the virus. Dr. Anthony Fauci takes a look at where things stand in the United States today, and Paula has something very special.
So what was it really like at the Super Bowl last night as a guest of honor?
From the beginning, when we walked in, everyone was clapping for us and thanking us.
We'll take you to the second row and all of the action.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. That breaking news comes from Detroit Police Chief James Craig. He just spoke out about the death of a prominent defense attorney during a crash with a DPD vehicle. Cliff Woodard II was killed after his car crashed with a police SUV early this morning. The 58-year-old attorney was traveling south on West Chicago when a Detroit squad car collided with his Lexus at the intersection of the Jeffries Service Drive. 2 officers were injured, taken to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. Police said the squad car was fully marked with activated lights and sirens. Here's the chief of police.
As much about this is troubling. One, the speed is troubling. The fact that the car could not have been brought to a safe stop or slowed the vehicle down to where they could see. At that intersection, clearly because it was a bridge, there was some obstruction. And so the obstruction, the officers could not, or the driving officer could not see the vehicle traveling southbound on Chicago until it was too late.
Obviously, there's a lot to investigate with this story. Grant Herms is working on that for us. He did speak with Chief Craig, and we'll have more of our coverage when you join us tonight at 5. All right, let's take a peek at that first forecast. It is dangerously cold outside, and some of you could see around an inch of new snow. Ben Bailey standing by to break it all down for us. Ben.
Yeah, Karen, you may want to peek with one eye when you look at this forecast, because there's not a whole lot here that's at least optimistic if you're looking for warmer weather. Sometimes one picture tells the whole story, and that's pretty much it. Looking out over the Detroit skyline, a lot of ice in the river. I mean, it just looks cold out there. Temperatures are in the mid-teens. Good news, though, the wind chill's not much different than the air temperatures. There's just not a big breeze to speak of. And there's that push of snow that's coming in tonight. There will be some accumulation as we get into tomorrow morning. In fact, we will be looking at that to spread across the evening through the evening hours tonight. Temperatures not really going anywhere. In fact, our lows will actually get colder as we get through the rest of the week, and we do have another chance of accumulating snow late in the week. We'll look at that in detail, plus your weekend forecast in a few minutes. Karen?
Well, it is a big day for thousands of Michigan families as high school winter sports are officially on the comeback trail. Now, we are monitoring all the day's COVID-19 developments. First, let's catch up on new numbers from the state. More than 1,700 new cases have been reported over the past 2 days. We've also seen an additional 11 deaths. We've learned the state of Michigan is receiving more than $8 million in federal funding to help with vaccine distribution efforts. And Meyer is getting ready to launch a series of vaccine clinics at stores around the state, hoping to give 25,000 vaccine doses by week's end. Now, thousands of student athletes can get back to practice today as a pause on winter sports has been lifted, but their return comes with strict rules. Masks are required in sports where it is possible, like boys and girls basketball and ice hockey. Now, in other sports like competitive cheer, wrestling, swimming, and diving, masks cannot be worn, but those athletes will face testing protocols. New at 5, we're going to sort through all the different rules and regulations. We also have a link posted to the state's explanation at clickondetroit.com. You'll find that on the homepage. Countries around the world are racing to get people vaccinated before new variants of the COVID-19 virus outsmart the vaccines. South Africa just put a pause on giving the AstraZeneca vaccine to its frontline workers. A new trial suggests it's not effective enough against the COVID variant that developed in South Africa. Now, here in the U.S., it is the British variant that could become dominant by March. Dr. Anthony Fauci is hopeful we'll be protected against that one.
Encouraging news is that the vaccines that we're currently distributing right now are quite effective against that particular variant. Less so against the South African, the 351. but hopefully we will get the virus under much better control by the time there's any indication that that might become dominant.
Dr. Fauci made those comments during the daily White House COVID briefing. We'll also have more from that briefing tonight at 5. Well, tomorrow, former President Donald Trump will face his second impeachment trial. Today, we are starting to get a framework of how the process will play out. Also, a sneak peek at Trump's defense strategy. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with the latest. And Kim, this Senate trial seems like it will go more quickly than last year's.
It does. And Karen, good afternoon to you. All along, Democrats have said the evidence in this case is easy to see, and this is a vote on whether the former president's actions rise to the level of impeachment. Mr. Trump's attorneys are expected to attack the entire process. The trial starts tomorrow with a debate and vote on whether it's constitutional to prosecute the former president. His legal team will argue that it is not constitutional. That issue will be decided by a majority, which means Democrats will push forward. Opening arguments will start at noon Wednesday. Then each side will have 16 hours for presentations. So right now, no witnesses are expected, and Trump himself has rejected an invitation to testify. Assuming all Democrats vote to convict, 17 Republicans would also have to join them because a 2/3 vote is required. As for the current president, the White House says he's focusing on COVID relief.
He will remain closely in touch with Speaker Pelosi, Leader Schumer, a range of officials on the Hill about his plan, and that's exactly what they want him to do, is to remain focused on that. And he will leave the pace and the process and the mechanics of the impeachment proceedings up to members of Congress.
And Karen, the former president's legal team will also attack the notion that his words inspired the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. In a new legal brief, they call the entire impeachment an act of political theater. So stay with Local 4 and click on Detroit.com for updates on the trial. We'll have them here as we get them. Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Yep.
Well, most of the country is talking about the Tampa Bay Bucks and Tom Brady celebrating their Super Bowl win. But we are going to talk about one local frontline hero whose trip to the big game created some really special moments you didn't get to see on TV. Now, you met Carol St. Henry before her trip. Today, Paula Tutman talked to her once again. And Paula, she's still in Tampa this morning, probably just reliving last night, right?
Or how about just staying warm, right? Start there with palm trees blowing in the breeze. Listen, whether or not your team won or you went to your usual Super Bowl gathering or that Super Bowl halftime show scared the heck out of you, listen, I think she is one of the winners we can all get behind. For Carol St. Henry, the weekend has been filled with pinch yourself moments of not only being invited by Roger Goodell himself to the Super Bowl, but scoring seats so close to the action, she actually became part of it.
I was literally in the second row. I should have asked the people around me what they paid for a ticket.
A nurse anesthetist and critical care nurse, she wrote a letter to Goodell telling him about her work on the front lines at St. Joseph Mercy Hospital in Pontiac, and to her surprise, he invited her to the big show, thinking the honor was hers, but instead being a guest of honor.
On behalf of everybody in the NFL, welcome. Thank you. We are incredibly proud of you.
The NFL thanked us for doing our job. It's what everyone I work with loves to do. So we're being thanked for doing what we love. And I think that was the really, really special part.
A lifelong Lions fan, yes, she wore her jersey to the game, and it paid off when Calvin Johnson was introduced as a Hall of Famer.
He was in my end zone and he turned around and I went like this with my Lions thing and he pointed right to me. So that was super special.
From the flyover with that stealth bomber being piloted by a woman to the first woman referee at a Super Bowl game. In that moment, it didn't really feel historic. It just felt great in that warm Tampa air and a moment to just feel normal again, even during that halftime show.
Even being at the concert, it's like, oh my God, I forgot what excitement is like. I forgot what hope is like.
And she also explains what we couldn't see, like why the stands looked so full.
From what you guys could see, it looked like the stands were full. But I had cardboard cutouts, 4 on one side of me, 2 on the other, no one behind me, no one in front of me. everyone had to have a mask on. They had workers just there to make sure you had your mask on. You could take a drink, put your mask back on. So they were very, very strict.
Well, what an absolutely incredible experience. But the thing that I love about Nurse Carol is that even though she had a fantastic time, it really wasn't about her. She doesn't feel like this is all about what she deserved or what she was entitled to. She really seemed to have a sense that she was there representing thousands and thousands and thousands of healthcare heroes who are in the trenches on the front lines every single day, and that was her honor. And I just think that was really fantastic, Karen.
I agree with you. I love what she said in terms of, wow, I got to experience excitement again. But she also said hope, which really struck with me, because there is obviously so much hope for all of the work that she does, and obviously as vaccinations roll out. What a story to tell. Thanks, Paula. Well, still ahead here first at 4. Forget cash. How about using Bitcoin to buy a new car? We'll talk about the automaker that could be driving in that direction. Also, working from home seems to have a lot of perks, but are you actually paying a higher price than you realize? We'll take a look at some new data. Up first, the aftermath of a glacier disaster. We're following this massive rescue operation. It's a life or death mission. Next.
Tomorrow, meet the changemaker who became the first black mayor of East Point and see how she's paving the way for the next generation. Tomorrow morning on Local 4 News Today.